real clear advantages of using add-on instructions or AOIs is code uniformity. But there's one little trick that if you don't know can make them impossible to troubleshoot. Just to recap on some of our previous videos, we created this Scalance add-on instruction. And in the last video, we talked about source protection and how we can make it viewable, but still not editable. Now, just so we can continue understanding the view versus non-view as far as that source protection, let's create a second AOI. So we're going to go back to the program that we developed this add-on instruction in, and let's call this one, let's rename its properties to Scalance No View. And then let's right-click it, and we're going to export it. And I'm just going to go put that in my downloads temporarily. And then we'll go over here and let's right-click add-on instructions, import, and we'll get Scalance No View. So it's the exact same instruction, except now we're going to go up to Tools, Security, Source Protection, and we already have this one configured. In fact, if you look down here, it says View, Use. We're going to select Scalance No View. We're going to protect it. We're going to use that same source key, and oh, they're blank. Why are they blank? Because we're still using that empty source key. So hit cancel, and let's go back to our one that we have in documents. And now if we click protect status key, and there goes our YouTube, subscribe to YouTube, which hopefully you have. And on the other one, we have this box checked. On this, we're going to leave it unchecked. So now they both go up into here. This one says protect, edit, copy, export, view, and use. And notice this one has a little plus sign by the view. And that's really what we're going to talk about on the rest of this. And so now let's bring in our Scalance No View. Now, a really cool thing a lot of people don't know you can do is you can actually drag in from this left side instead of going and finding them. I can drop that right there. And for our tag name, let's call this our Ethernet status. And we right click it, new, and it'll be Scalance No View as the data type. And now we'll drag that over, and that gets us exactly back to where we are. And in fact, let's delete this rung out because it's not necessary for what we're talking about now. And let's go ahead and download that program. And if you need any help downloading your program, or you're like, whoa, where did y'all even create this add-on instruction? We're actually going through a whole course series here. You're actually just came into the middle of this chapter. So look down in the description and you will see a course that takes you through creating your first program, configuring your drivers, all the way to building out this add-on instruction. And we'll put it back into run mode, and they look identical. And if we right-click Ethernet status and monitor it, then right below it is Ethernet No View, and we can open those up. We're getting the exact same information out of it. Now, let's say we were having an issue with this. Let's talk through what people do. Whoops. So I forgot one item. I looked over here and I'm like, why do these look identical over here? Because they shouldn't look identical over here from our last video. But remember, we're using the actual source key right now. So let's go back to that empty one. We're going to Tools, Security, and oh, that's right. You can't do it while you're online. So let's go back offline. And now let's go to Tools, Security, Configure Source Protection. And let's change our source key back to that empty one. In the previous video, I was using one that was in downloads. And this is just the empty key. And so when I hit the close button here, you're going to see this go away. And you're going to see one of these, the logic view, is going to go away. So yeah, our no view now has nothing. And now we don't know about our source protection. Now, the cool part about having protection is if done properly, we can still just do communications, who active, and go online. Studio 5000 knows no different until we need to troubleshoot. And first thing, when we're like, what the world is this Scalance instruction? We end up going over here and we see the logic here. And if we double click on the logic, it's all empty. And so we're troubleshooting completely blind. And the issue is you can use this instruction as many times as you want. And you didn't tell each studio, well, which instance do you want to use this at? So there's two ways to actually get this filled in. Is first we have our data context and we could have Ethernet status. That's the one we have. The other way, because I love when you right click and get options, is let's right click Scalance. And near the bottom, we're going to open instruction logic. Now, notice this, we have this third tab right here. When you open instruction logic, it's actually switching over to it, but it takes the data context and gives it to you. And now we see live data for troubleshooting. Let's go look at the other one. If we right click Scalance no view, then there is no logic here. And so we leave people unable to troubleshoot the system. And so kind of going back to the previous video where we even talked about source protection is you need incredible documentation. And when I say incredible, I only will give credit to one company for properly using the word incredible in that statement. And that's why they're the only one on the trainer right here is YRG does an outstanding job of documenting their add-on instruction and giving you the error code. Like I have never had a need to even be curious about what's in their add-on instruction. That's where you have to be at if you're going to use that view only. Now, their reasoning mainly for it is they're giving you this super easy add-on instruction, but they don't want you doing anything that would really void their warranty. So there is a legit use case. Now, let's take this a little bit further as to how we can use this data context to compare and contrast when we're having issues with systems. Let's go back to Studio, and this one you may just have to follow along with, but we could probably make an exercise later on if you're really interested. So we're going to go back offline, and we're going to add a second Ethernet switch to ours. So I'm going to right-click, New Module, and we're going to type Scalance and select the XC208. And the advantage of being in the training center here is I do have 15 of these ready for students. So we're going to call this, actually, this is Station 7 Switch. Its IP address is 192.168.20.178. And we're going to click OK to that. And we're going to click Close. And, well, we'll just leave this one in here. We're not going to use it because there is no troubleshooting ability there. We're going to copy the other one though. Actually, let's bring another one down. No, I love copy and pasting, but let's make sure we get this one right. We have Scalance, and we have Scalance no view. We're going to bring Scalance down, and let's call this one Station 7 Status. And then anytime we type words, we have to right-click the words, New, and it's going to have a data type of Scalance because it had a user-defined data type, and click Create. And in this case, we're going to go find Station 7:I data. And let's go ahead and download this to our PLC. We know we're having an issue with Station 7, but our Ethernet status, the one that we built out, seems okay. So what we can do is, first, I'm trying to troubleshoot this one. So I still want you to right-click, you get options, and we're going to open instruction logic. Since we have this data context, if we know the other one's working right, is we can compare and contrast. So now I'm going to switch to Ethernet. Okay, we saw something happen here. There's some issue right here. So port 4 and port 5 are on when we're good. If I go to Station 7, port 4 and port 5 are off. And so really quickly, by using that data context and comparing something that is good to something that's bad, we shave a lot of time off our troubleshooting. So that gets us set up with some really cool troubleshooting features straight out of ladder logic for our Ethernet switch. But that's only the tip of the iceberg of what this can do. And so now we're going to start learning about some advanced networking topics. And I've created this playlist right here to help you out.